Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit about each of the other members of Native Window and see if you could just describe them and what their role was in the process, starting with Richard Williams.
With Rich, almost everyone had exactly the same role, just with their specific instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody presented ideas. The answer is going to be almost the same for each member because everyone played exactly an equal role. The only difference was the instrument that they were presenting. And, people had ideas for other people's instruments. Phil came up with a couple of, and Richard as well, and probably Billy too, came up with great ideas for violin parts.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And everyone was contributing. It was very collaborative and very fun. And very creative, and we one of probably the smartest thing that we did, excuse me, was we sat down right off the bat and declared this a equal partnership, so you don't have the grasping that comes when you're trying to protect your interest in a song, your financial interest.
Right.
In a song, the publishing and the songwriting royalties. We didn't care. We just wanted the songs to sound good. And when you're working under that sort of arrangement, every idea that anyone had, you'll try it. Well, and sometimes it sounds in explanation like not a very good idea, and more often than not, you'd go, no, I don't think so, and then you just move on. But the way we were working, hey, all right, let's try it. And sometimes it was brilliant. I can remember a couple of those ideas where I normally would have gone, that's going to be a waste of time. But no, let's try it. And it turned out to be just a brilliant idea.
That's cool. Yeah, it's the financial interest in a band that can really, really limit what somebody gets to do in a band.
Yeah, it really can, and that just did not play a factor here.
Cool.
If anyone had any idea, it was going to get a shot.
Very good.
And that in itself just makes it so much more fun.
Right.
It really was a very good time.
Now, what is Rich like as a person?
He's a great guy. They're all great guys.
Yeah. I've interviewed him, so he's very, very humorous. I know that.
They're very funny, especially Richard and Phil together are dangerous with their humor. They are very funny guys, very quick. They're all three of them just great guys. Billy's funny too, man. Billy will rip you up.
I've only met him in passing. I've spoken to Phil on the phone, and Phil, when you don't know him, can be a little dry. You know what I mean?
Phil's just careful.
yeah. He's very matter of fact. So it's interesting to envision a looser side of him.
He's very funny, man. I tell you, he really is. He's got a very quick wit. He and Richard both.
Yeah, that's funny. There's now. From time to time, even now, there are still rumblings, there are the internet rumors and so on and so forth that say that Carrie and Dave are going to come back one day.
That would be something that may be true, but I don't know about it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Does the band pay attention to any of that kind of stuff? Any of the internet chit chat and?
I don't do that much online. I joined Facebook, and I just hardly ever go there anymore because it just became too intimidating. There's just way more information than I can keep up with, and I'd go on there to try to kind of just try to figure out how the thing would work, and all of a sudden I was in 5 instant messaging sessions and I can't type. You know, you got 5 people all of a sudden at the same time. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh, I got to get out of here. You know.
That's funny. Yeah, that does happen on there. There's no doubt about it.
I think Rich keeps up with some of the internet chatter, but it's kind of overwhelming for me, and probably more than anything because I just don't type very well, and it takes me about 15 minutes to type a response to a question. I just tend to fall away from the gossip oriented stuff.
Right. Now, what goes on? What happens with Native Window from here? What are your hopes for it beyond this tour?
Another one.
Mm-hmm. Will it eventually grow legs to go out on its own apart from Kansas, or will it be tied to Kansas, do you think?
Oh, I think it'll always be tied to Kansas. There's no reason for it not to be.
Right. It doesn't make sense.
If we were 27 years old, it might be different, but this is. I mean, it's all tied together. I guess you could almost look at Native Window as just the commercial aspect of Kansas, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of personified a little bit.
Right. Okay. Now, what about Kansas? What's the future going to hold for the band?
More of the same. I'm sure. I hope, and I'm sure. The audience response is still very enthusiastic. The bookings still come in. The band still enjoys it. It's amazing to me. I mean, I can understand why I still enjoy it because it's much newer to me. Some of these songs these guys have been playing for years. The band's 35 years old this year.
Right.
So it's amazing to me that they can, with the same enthusiasm, and play it as though they were playing it for the first time. It's remarkable.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often because a lot of older bands you see sort of sleepwalking through their set or whatever.
Yeah, you clock in, you play the set, you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at your watch in between songs. And that's not going on. I mean, it's still very, very enthusiastic, I don't see any reason for Kansas to not do this until they just don't want to.
Right. Yeah. Do you ever plan the future? Do you ever think, well, how many more years will I?
Every time I plan the future, I get myself in trouble.
Right.
So the gift tours came back, and I'm not looking anywhere else. Right.
I got you. Do you have any ambitions outside of Kansas? Outside of Native Window at the moment? I mean, anything that you wanted to do that you haven't been able to do yet?
I've toyed with the idea of maybe doing a instructional video for violinists that want to know what to do in a rock and roll band between solos.
Cool.
I've toyed with that. That's about it.
Right. Well, very good. Very good. Is there anything else you want to say about either Native Window or Kansas?
Come see us.
Very good. Very good. Is there anything special going on for the 35th anniversary?
Well, we did the DVD. We got together in Topeka and with the oh gosh, I'm gonna get slapped for this. The Washburn University Symphony.
Oh, of course, right.
And did a symphonic DVD shoot. It's brilliant. The cameras that they used. I think it was an 8-camera shoot, five or 8 cameras, with the booms and it was real. It was very real. Very, very fine cameras. I went out and watched some of the footage in the trucks after we were done with the shoots, and it's just stunning. I've never seen video footage that looked that good on anything.
Wow.
I was just blown away by it. And it's once again produced by Jeff Glicksman.
Right. Right.
And it's being all the they're doing all the post production on it. I think Phil's up there right now looking at the first run through of the the DVD with the mix that they've created.
Oh, cool.
And
so
we're real excited about it. It's going to be a very good production.
Great. Any idea of when we might see a release on that?
We're hoping. Let me think about this. I think we're hoping for like November, maybe. But I don't know. That's very unofficial. That's just my best guess.
Right. Okay. Well, very good. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview today.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Best of luck with the native window.
Thanks. Yeah, we're very excited about that as well. I'm still just sitting there kind of holding it in my hands, looking at it. Look at what we did. We're very proud of ourselves. We're very happy with the final result and hope everyone else will be as well.